The Dude Angus Gym at Los Altos High School has been painted and polished, and the Lady Eagles and Gunn Titans are just about ready to give it a go. My name is Mike Messner. I'll be bringing you all the action tonight. These two teams, who have identical records of 6 wins and 5 losses. Both teams are coming off recent losses. Gunn coming off a loss to Monte Vista just 2 days ago. Los Altos also reeling from a loss to Pali on Tuesday night. The last time these two teams squared off, it was back on August 28th. Los Altos did come out ahead in that particular contest. Turning to things that we're going to be watching for tonight, you should know that Gunn does tend to finish stronger in the 4th and 5th sets when contests go that long. They do tend to outscore their opponents. Los Altos, on the other hand, tends to outscore their opponents in the middle 2 sets. So it'll be an interesting contrast in styles and maybe in energy loads as we go on tonight. People you're going to want to watch. On the Gunn side, you're going to be looking for number 5, Kyra Jouet, who leads the team with serving aces. On the Los Altos side, 2 young ladies you're going to want to keep an eye on. Shannon McCabe, number 1, who leads the team in aces and digs. And number 2, Megan Wong, who is the leader in assists. Both teams are relatively young. There are 6 newcomers to the varsity team from Gunn, 7 from Los Altos, and they both have about 14 players. So we're dealing with a significant number of athletes on the court tonight that will be playing in one of their first contests in a varsity uniform. As I mentioned earlier, the gym here at Los Altos did have quite a bit of work done on it over the summer. And of course, during the COVID pandemic, when no students were on campus, the crews were able to work on it and on many other buildings around the campus. That construction is almost finished, but the students have returned to school after what can only be described as an unsatisfying year last year, with plenty of absences due to the pandemic. But they're all back now, and we're ready to enjoy some very exciting high school volleyball. We'll step aside while the teams finish their warming up. Don't go away. We'll be back with the start of the match in just a minute. We're back at the Dude Angus Gym at Los Altos High School, where both these teams are about ready to get started. The starters are on the court, and we should have the opening serve in just a second or two. Before the game, quite a few of the bystanders and the observers were greeting each other like old friends, because we haven't had too many indoor events since COVID began, and so it's a homecoming of sort certainly for the Los Altos players, and I'm sure Gunn feels good to be back in a gym playing volleyball again. So Gunn will start off serving. That's Michaela Leong with the serve. And there's a point to Los Altos. Great setup there on the Los Altos side of the ball. And I think Megan Wong may have been in on that one. Caitlin Lee now serving. Dug out there. Los Altos maintains, dug out by Gunn. That's over, and that is out. Too long on the return there by Kaylin Hayata. And it's 2-0 Los Altos. Dug out there by Safa. There's Hayata. Now back over. Dug out. And 2 hits there. So Gunn will take possession again. Substitutions happening right now. And it's going to be Hannah Zhang who will be serving off for the Titans. Hannah usually plays as setter. Dug out. And off the net and off of the attempt there by the corner that was laid, that was Celine Safa there who tried to dig it out for the Titans, but to no avail. And it's now 3-1 Los Altos. Shannon McCabe with the serve. Deflected. Los Altos maintains control. Deflected again, and a third time. And that time, Michaela Leong tried to keep it in bounds. Unfortunately, it went out, and it's 4-1 Los Altos. Shannon McCabe, who's serving here, did have some experience on the varsity team before COVID pandemic hit. She's got 11 aces. That one won't help her average, unfortunately. But she did come into this game with 11 aces and 86 serve receptions, and so she'll probably be getting a couple of those tonight. It's Kaylin Hayata, and that serve is a little short, and so Los Altos will take the serve back. Caitlin Cuppett now serving for the Eagles. Caitlin is a senior. It's her first year on the varsity, and she has 7 aces to her credit. Usually she lines up as an opposite hitter. So here we go. 5-2 Los Altos. Way up into the rafters there. And that one is down with authority. Point to Gunn off the hand of Celine Safa. Haley Wan now serving. It's her first year on the varsity. Only her 3rd set this season. And Los Altos is going to try to play that off the net, but you can't do that. So now Gunn pulls to within a point of the Lady Eagles. Dug out. Ooh, some misdirection there, and so Gunn gets the equalizer. When you're digging those out, many times they'll go so close to the net that your setter doesn't know what to do with them. Dug, and there again. Now that one went over, controlled by Gunn. Tipped, ends up in the Los Altos end, but they do control. And that looks like it's going to be a point to Gunn. That may have been underhanded a little bit. So Gunn pulls ahead for the first time in this match. Off the net, and an ace for Haley Wan. Gunn did not have a whole lot of statistics posted on maxpreps.com. That's where we get our statistics here for KMVT. But that may have been her first ace of the year. And that was a decisive kill by Carolyn Dormady. Carolyn, one of the co-captains of the Lady Eagles, and she's coming up to serve right now. She is a 6-foot senior. She also played on the varsity before COVID. And that is kill number 66 for Carolyn. And that one didn't take any time at all for Caitlin Lee to drive that home. Caitlin has been named player of the match twice, most recently back on September 9th against Lee High School. And that one's just out. And so as Gunn retakes possession, they do have a 1-point lead. So far, very evenly matched. And not too many unforced errors on either side of the ball. Kira Zhui again. Blocked. Can Gunn control? They do. Dug out. And out, and this time it's just too far to run. Michaela Long trying to dig it out there. Valiant attempt there by the forward line by Gunn, but it didn't pay off. And we have an 8-8 game. Isabel Banks now the Eagle server. Isabel, first year on varsity, and her second set playing. Dug out, and that one hit the floor. Great attempt there by Carolyn, but not quite enough. And Gunn maintains a 1-point lead. That's Safa with the serve. Dormady, set, very close to the net there. And that one's gonna go to Gunn. Referee saw a fourth hit there. We did not. It's 10-8 Gunn. Dug out, set, tipped over. Way up there, now knocked back into Los Altos, and a miscommunication there between Dormady and Caitlin Cuppett. As Gunn now opens up a 3-point lead over the Lady Eagles. Set, dug out, and that one almost ended up through the window of the Dude Angus gym, but it will be a point to Los Altos. Megan Wong, the new Eagles server. It's Megan's second year on the varsity. She has played 122 sets, make that 223, or 123. And a kill, again, decisively by Emma Simon, number 13 for the Lady Eagles. Emma's a middle blocker, the tallest member of this team. She stands 6'2". Gunn controls. Set, back set. Dug out again. And that one kind of hangs there. Controlled by Los Altos. Tipped, dug out again. Now Gunn controls. Off the net. And that one's just too sharp an angle. It was Megan Wong, I think, that tried to get that. Just too sharp an angle there, and Gunn regains possession with a 2-point lead. Tipped, controlled. And that one, point to Los Altos. That was fairly close, but it did just get in. And I don't think Gunn liked that one at all, but now it's a 1-point game. And Caitlin Lee back again serving for the Eagles. Up. Back in. And that one just a little bit too wide. And Los Altos has tied the game at 12 apiece. And that one hit the net and was headed out anyway. So, Los Altos did draw even briefly. And now Gunn's gonna bring in some substitutions. That's Hannah Zhang serving. Hannah's a senior. Doug. And that one just out. Great attempt there to kind of sneak it in through the back door, but no such luck. That was Carolyn Dormady on the attempt there. And that one's out. And so Los Altos again draws to within 1 on the serving error. Shannon McCabe. Delivers. Doug. Good block there. Dug out again by Los Altos. And no one is there to pick that up. And Clara Graff is going to regret that one for a little while. Clara, that was passed to her. She's a sophomore, a middle blocker. And off of the hand there of Kaylin Hayata, almost through the basketball hoop there. And Los Altos again draws to within one. Caitlin Cuppett, the serve. Tipped, and great attempt there by Caitlin Lee. And there's a timeout by Los Altos. We'll step aside for just a second. We're midway through the first set. It's 16-14 Gunn. Thus far, of course, there have been a couple of key plays, and this one was just as important as any. The one that we're watching right now, dug out by Los Altos, very nicely handled there until it was time to put it over the net, and then a squeaker, probably a heartbreaker there by Carolyn Dormady. Tried to sneak it in just on the left side of the Gunn court, couldn't quite get it. And that's what brings us to a 16-14 Gunn lead. Some communication. I think we're going to have a couple more substitutions here for the Titans. And that's Haley Yuan, who'll be serving now. We saw Haley a little bit earlier. Doug, set. And the kill attempt there, too hard off of Carolyn Dormady. And now it's a three-point lead for the Titans. And that one is going to go off the block, and a point to Los Altos. And Carolyn Dormady will now take over serving. We've talked a little bit about her killing skills, but we haven't talked about her serving too much. She has 9 aces. And back over. Dug out by the libero. Set. And that one is just hit a little too hard. Caitlin Lee there on the attempt. So Gunn regains possession and still maintains a 3-point lead. Kira Shui now. Libero. Caitlin, and Caitlin Lee with the kill there. If you can call it that, but a point is a point. And that brings her total to 44 kills. Now Isabel Banks, sophomore defensive specialist with the serve. And kill attempt a little bit too. I don't think there's got much air on that one. So Isabel will continue to serve. Dug out. Ooh. Now set over. Dug and set. And good block there. Good reception. And that one, that is going to fall. And so a point to Gunn on that. That was playing the corner game on that. And some substitutions are going to come in now for the Lady Eagles, who are still facing a 2-point deficit as we carry on here in the first set. Celine Safa. Dug out. Set. Dormady is going to have to get that one over, and she does. Set. Good block there by the middle blockers. That one goes over their heads. Now it's set. Tipped over, and the rally continues. And dug out beautifully there by Carolyn. And is there anybody home? Yes, there is. Lee Doyas there. That one was blocked. Gunn controls, and that is just off the hands of Caitlin Cuppett. But that may have been the longest rally we've had all night so far. So as Gunn now within 5 points of a first set victory. Back over, dug out by Gunn, controlled, and Sophia Hahn just kind of swatted at that one, but wasn't able to get it over the net, and Los Altos, or is it? So Gunn will retain possession. Dug out. And that one, Emma Simon clobbered that one off the net and down on the floor, and that's a point for Los Altos. Emma Simon has been named player of the match twice, most recently against Westmont about a week ago. And that one too hard off of the hand of Kaylin Hayata. (21-19) Gunn. Dug out. Set. Blocked, and that time too hard. Off of Simon and Cuppett there. Both of them well known. They've had some really good cooperative blocks in this match so far, but that time the ball didn't cooperate. Ooh, close to the net. Dangerous area, and that's not going to pay off for the Eagles. That's a 23-19 lead now for the Titans. And a timeout called by the Eagles. So we'll step aside, see what Peter Kim and Jerry Messerschmidt are going to say to their ladies, and we'll be right back. Back here at Dude Angus Gymnasium, where the visiting Lady Titans of Gunn High School have opened up a 4-point lead now on the home team Lady Eagles. And there's a serve, long run there, and some interference from a object that usually serves well for the Eagles, but not this time. So with match point coming now to Gunn, 24-19. Controlled, blocked, and oh, scooped out. Great effort there by Kira Jouet, but Los Altos will regain possession, and they're still fighting. Still set point. Good dunk there. Now over the middle blockers. Set. And too short. Off of the Eagles' side of the net, and Gunn taking the first set in this contest against Los Altos. This is something that Gunn usually does. They do tend to win their first set more often than they lose it, and they've done so again tonight. We'll step aside while we prepare for the second set. It's 1-0 Gunn Titans. Don't go away. We're back at Dude Angus Stadium, where Gunn has opened up a one-set lead over the Lady Eagles here at Los Altos High School. As I mentioned before we went to break, Gunn does tend to win its first sets in games, although not by a great deal. They did win by 5 points in the last set. That is more than their average margin. What they need to be aware of is that Los Altos does tend to win second, third, and fourth sets, although by decreasing margins as the night goes on. So it'll be interesting to see how the Lady Eagles, coached by Peter Kim, respond to being a set down. Megan Wong with the serve there, handled by the Titans. Good defensive response there by the Eagles to start off. And a block that gets through. Simon and Dormady. Or Simon and Cuppet, I beg your pardon. Simon 6'2", Cuppet 5'9". And Gunn has the serve with a 1-point lead. Dug out, controlled, and too wide. Great attempt there, great amount of force, but not accurate enough. That was Emma Simon there. Michaela Leong, the Titan server, just over the net there, dug out by Los Altos. High set, and that one handled by Gunn. Well done there. And back over. Great job there by the Lady Titans. Good set, and that one, great attempt there by Leong, but that is going to be a point to Los Altos. And the Lady Eagles are back in it. Caitlin Lee, the 5'8" junior, opposite hitter, will be serving now. Dug out, back set, and that one goes into the net. Sophia Hahn, who's a 5'8" sophomore. That's the second or third time that there's been a kill attempt that didn't make it over the net. 2-all. Back over, almost an ace there. Ooh, volleyed the wrong way, but it is forced over by Gunn. Now Los Altos, tipped. Dangerous close to the net. Tipped over, blocked. Gunn controls. Dug out again. Los Altos. Tipped over and brilliantly done. And that's a point to Los Altos as they regain the lead off of Carolyn Dormady, who's the team leader in kills. 3-2 Los Altos. Dug out. Ooh. That was not something that the Eagles were expecting, and that's the first time that Gunn has gone to that second hit volley over the net. And it paid off for them because now they've drawn even. Hannah Zhang now serving. Short set and brilliantly done. The lead and the serve go back to Los Altos. Emma Simon now exiting the game. Shannon McCabe. With the serve. Jump serve. Ooh, and that one, again, the Lady Eagles caught off guard. So they're more responsive to the straight game, but now Gunn having to throw some twists and turns into their tactics. Now Kaylin Hayata, number 12. Kaylin also plays softball. And Los Altos does get that one. As I was saying, Kaylin Hayata plays varsity softball and was the player of the match for Gunn on August 26th against Leland. She had 13 kills and 1 ace. What a great performance that must have been. Dug out. Forward set. Ooh, save. That ball was probably headed out and might have been a closed fist foul there. Or a fourth hit, and so Gunn will retake it, and it's 5-all. Now Haley Wan. And that one not well handled there by the front line of the Eagles. Too much of a run for Shannon McCabe. And Gunn again leading. Ooh. Now that's one of those things that I don't know if you can plan. You'd have to be a very accurate server to plan that, but it does fall, and it's another point for Gunn. Ooh. And again, that one made it over the net, and it would have been beautiful. It had been about 6 inches, a little more inside. But as it is, it's out, and another point to the Titans. And that one, hard hit there by Carolyn. Too far away. As Gunn now opens up a 4-point lead. Dug out and over. Handled by the Titans. Dug out by Los Altos. Good defense there by McCabe. And that one, trying to do a kill from that far back doesn't pay off, and that's Haley Wan with the attempt there. The Eagles regain the serve. They are down by 3. And Carolyn Dormady. And that one won't help her average as that one goes into the net. And it's a 10-6 ball game in favor of Gunn. Substitutions now for the Titans. Kira Jouet and Sophia Hahn coming back into the game. And that is Jouet with the serve. Well set, and that one is going to fall, and Los Altos will get the credit of that one. That's Lee Doyas there. It's her second year on the varsity, and that's her 16th kill so far. Well done, Lee, number 4. Over the middle blockers. Handled by Los Altos, and now it's back over. Dug out nicely by the Titans. Now over. Good defense there by Carolyn. That's going to have to come over, and it does, and it's dug out. And Los Altos, now nobody there. Great effort there by Emma Simon, and Caitlin Lee just not able to switch gears and come back to that. And it's again a 4-point lead for the Titans. And that one's headed out. One thing I've noticed is that the Gunn attack, although it's been very successful, I mean, the score doesn't lie, but when they've tried to make kill attempts away from the net, they have generally not been successful. Los Altos has had a bit more success with that. Dug out, handled, and long run for Caitlin, and it's not going to be enough. Gunn regains possession and a 4-point lead. Sabrina Fong now coming into the game for the Titans. It's Michaela Leong with the serve. Dug, set, And blocked. Recovered by Los Altos. Will they be able to get it over? Yes, they do. Handled. Great attempt there by Carolyn to dig that out, but just too far to go. And it's a 5-point lead for the Titans. And Peter Kim decides he wants a timeout, and I don't blame him. All right, well, we'll step aside and see what the Lady Eagles can come up with. It's 13-8 Gunn. That's Biba Zake McGibbon, the coach of the Lady Titans there, as the action resumes here on the court. And Los Altos trying to deflect that one, and they do get it, but it's blocked. And Gunn is able to open up. That's Sabrina Fong, the 5'8" middle blocker. Sabrina's a junior, and now, suddenly, it's a 6-point lead for Gunn. And Los Altos caught napping on that one. That may be the third or the fourth time that the Lady Eagles were hoping for something that wasn't going to happen. Now it's a 7-point lead for Gunn. Dug out. And dug out off the kill attempt by Dormady. Deflected. Dug out again by Gunn. Kill attempt, and that one is going to, I think there may have been a touch there on Los Altos, and so Gunn will come up with the point, and it's an 8-point lead. Ooh. Swatted at that, and Gunn kept it alive there. Great teamwork there by the Titans. And that one was slammed home. Emma Simon, the 6'2" middle blocker, stops the bleeding right there for the Lady Eagles. And now Kelsey Nguyen coming into the game for Los Altos. Kelsey's a freshman. And that serve cleared the net. And that one well placed and a little bit of good luck there. So Kelsey's tenure as a server didn't last that long, as Gunn regains possession. And Hannah Zhang coming back into the game to serve. Ooh, little short, and a 9-point lead for the Lady Titans. Ace. Hannah Zhang, that is her second ace since joining the varsity. Dug out, and that one falls out of bounds. So that time the Eagles catch a break, and they will regain possession. And Shannon McCabe comes back into the game to serve. Gunn, dug out. Los Altos controls, and it's well placed there for another kill for Los Altos. I think that may have been Carolyn Dormady in on that one, as Los Altos begins to whittle away at the Gunn lead. Dinked over, but it's covered. But equally well covered by the Titans. Kill attempt, dug out, and great attempt there by McCabe. No one to pass it to there. Gunn regains as a 9-point lead, closing in on their second straight set. And that one will go to Los Altos. That one hit the floor. A little bit of an illusion there, but it did. Kathleen June, no. Or is that Stella Pruett? I couldn't see. I think that's Pruett. She came in for one serve and just that quickly. She's another freshman, first year on the varsity, of course. Now Gunn making some of its own substitutions. Haley Wan again. Over and into Gunn's hands. Dug out by Los Altos. Great job there by Pruett. Blocked. Still up, still alive, and over. And the referee saw a closed fist, and that's going to cost Los Altos the point. A 10-point lead again for the Lady Titans. Oh. Not a very aggressive kill attempt there. It did make it over, but Gunn was ready. That one went all the way to the Gunn bench, and that one is going to be out. And Los Altos again refusing to go quietly. Josephine Wong now the server. And Josephine. Again, 3 straight servers that Los Altos has sent, and they're one and done. This is Josephine's first year on the varsity. She's a 5'7" sophomore, and she usually plays defensive specialist. So now, set point again for Gunn. Shui with the serve. Set. Blocked. Handled again. Now Los Altos has it over. And catching a break there. Valeria Werbrook tried to keep that one alive, but it had hit the ground. Still set point to Gunn. Isabel Banks serving. Blocked, and that one can't be handled, and that's going to do it. So, in the second set, Gunn takes advantage of some unforced errors by the Lady Eagles and wins 25-11. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the third set. Don't go away. Back here at Dude Angus Gym, what we're seeing here is one of the times that Los Altos really executed well and managed to come up with a very skillful kill. That was off of Emma Simon there. We haven't talked a whole lot about Emma, except that she is a 6'2" senior. It's her second year on the varsity. Coming into tonight's contest, she had played 118 sets 120 kills, not counting the one you just saw. 72 total blocks. And the player of the match 2 times. So there may not be any set victories for the Eagles, but there's certainly no lack of excitement. Down 2 sets, but you wouldn't know it to look at the conduct of these young ladies. So we're going to come back with our 3rd set in just a moment here. That second set was a bit of an anomaly. Usually Los Altos does outscore its opponents in the second set. They also do so in the 3rd set. But if they don't outscore in the 3rd set, that'll be the end of this match. So Gunn serving to start us off for number 3. Dug out, volleyed over, now over to Gunn. Set. Dug out again. Nice job there by Dormady. Dug out again. Over. Good digs by both these teams in this series. Blocked. Can Gunn handle it? Into their bench, and they do get it over. Nice job there by the Titans. And there's a kill that knocks a defender off her feet. That was Caitlin Ayada. Took a little bit of a spill there. So Los Altos strikes first in this set. And Caitlin Lee will have the serve. Ooh, good attempt there by Caitlin. I think she might have lost her balance a little bit on that one. So, Gunn drawing even. They'll have their own substitutions. And in comes Hannah Zhang to serve for the Titans. It's 1-1. And well dug out, but decisive. And perhaps the Los Altos killers, if you will, or the Los Altos players have decided they've had enough. And they're taking out some of their frustration on these kills. It's 2-1 Eagles. That one's over the middle blockers, handled. There's a set. Blocked again, long run, and it's not going to be enough. Unfortunate ricochet there off of Shannon McCabe. And now Kaylin Hayata. Ooh. Now back over, and Los Altos did control it. Kill attempt coming up, dug out there by McCabe. Tipped over. Back to Gunn. And, oh, again, some unfortunate ricochets there, unfortunate deflections as Gunn takes the lead in this 3rd set, which may be the decisive one. Jump serve, dug out. And deflected. The middle blockers weren't able to block straight. And so now Los Altos regaining the serve and tying the game. Caitlin Cuppett now serving. Blocked. Surprise there. Dug out. Dug out a 3rd time. Back over. Dug out a 4th time. Great defensive effort, and then it dropped right in front of Caitlin Cuppett. I was just talking about Caitlin. She's a 5'9" senior. This is her first year on the varsity. And she also plays varsity soccer for the Eagles soccer team. She was named player of the match in the game against Presentation back on August 26th. Tipped, and it's going to hit the floor. And Los Altos regains service and ties the game. Carolyn Dormady. And that one's hit out, and Los Altos wisely chose not to go after that. And they've battled back to a 1-point lead. Deflected, Los Altos controls. And Gunn, great attempt to make a mountain out of a molehill there, but it didn't quite work. And Los Altos opening a 2-point lead. That's the biggest lead they've had since the first set. It may be the only lead they've had since the first set. Blocked, and good block there, but it went out of bounds. And so the Lady Titans regain it, this time facing a 1-point margin, which hasn't happened often in this contest. Kyra Jouet. Dug out. And nicely done, as that one got out of the dig attempt. Los Altos now again with a 2-point advantage. And your server is Isabel Banks. And very professionally done kill there by the Titans as they regain it. Celine Safa now with the serve. And Celine Safa straight into the net on that one. Los Altos regaining the 2-point lead with Megan Wong coming in to serve. Ooh, good save there. That one's back over. Now controlled by Gunn, back set, blocked. And Los Altos catches the break on that one, as now it's a 3-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Megan Wong continuing to serve. Ooh, and that one off an attempt that might not have been made. Perhaps the Eagles want to have that one back because that one looked like it was headed out of bounds. But in any case, Gunn has it again, facing down a 2-point deficit with the serve. Ooh, and that one again off of Carolyn Dormady, as Gunn draws to within a point of the Lady Eagles. Now Doug, that one needs to go over, and it does. Saved there. Blocked. Handled by Gunn. Great teamwork again. Los Altos controls, and that one is going to be a point to Los Altos. I didn't see that that one fell, but that's why they pay that lady the referee money. Caitlin Lee serving again now. Handled. Tipped. And Los Altos manages to get it over. Good ball management there. And a good attempt there at a tip, or a dunk, I guess would be the technical term for it by Caitlin Ayata, but to no avail. And Los Altos regains a 3-point lead. And blocked and out of bounds as Los Altos was developing maybe their first run of the night. And it's quickly silenced there by the Gunn defense, as now the Lady Titans take over again. Hannah Zhang coming in to serve. Titans are down by 2. Back set. Oh! Caitlin Cuppett trying to switch gears, and it didn't come off. So Gunn pulls to within 1. And an authoritative spike there. And Los Altos prevents the tie and extends their service. Let's see if the Eagles can go on another run here. Dugout. And that one's just, no, it is marked as in or called as in by the referees, and so Los Altos. Close to the net. Gunn was able to recover, and they do get the point. We had a little bit of trouble with the scoreboard there, but it is now 13-11 in favor of the Eagles. But the Lady Eagles, although they've been successful, are letting the Titans hang around. Whether Gunn can finish this off in this set remains yet to be seen. And that one, ace for Gunn, as it's a 1-point lead now. Dug out and tipped and beautifully placed there right in the middle of the Gunn defense, and that will be a quick point for Los Altos. And Caitlin Cuppett coming up again to serve. Ooh, that was a looping set, and when that goes too close to the net, you're in trouble, and that's what happened there with the Titans. 15-12 Los Altos. And that one's hit out, and Gunn pulls to within 2. Haley Wan up again. Ooh, dug out, and that might not have been necessary. It looked like that one might have been headed out. And so the Titans catch a break as they pull within 1 again of the Lady Eagles. Low serve, and that one is going to go down as an ace. And Gunn has tied it up. Another good run here by the Titans. Served, and that one is another ace for Gunn. As the Lady Eagles are looking flat-footed tonight in this third set. Gunn regaining the lead. Now dug out. Los Altos puts it back over. Dug out by the Titans. Kill attempt, dug. Defended, and another dug out again by the Titans. And now tried to dink it over, and that one landed at the scorer's table, and that's going to be a point for Los Altos. Good rally there. Both teams doing well on defense. And Carolyn Dormady trying to break this tie. Again, danger zone. And Gunn not able to recover on that one. That net area is radioactive if you don't set cleanly. Blocked. And a great hit by Gunn to keep that in play. And again, one that Los Altos didn't have an answer to. So 17 all now. Kira Jouet. Short serve. And Caitlin Lee hitting it too hard. That headed into the Titan bench, and now Gunn has regained the lead, and Los Altos says they want a timeout. So we'll take 1-2 while we try to figure out what both of these teams are going to do. It's going to be a great ending to this third set. We'll be back. Back at the Dude Angus gym here at Los Altos High School, where the Lady Eagles holding on to a 1-point lead in this do-or-die third set for them. But Gunn going on a little bit of a run here. And that one is off the hands of a couple of Gunn defenders, and Los Altos widens the lead and gets the serve back. Or I should say that ties the game. Tied at 18, and your server is Isabel Banks. And diving save there. Deflected, trying to keep it alive, and they do. And that's going to go to the Titans. I think there may have been a touch on the net, or a net violation there. As now Gunn opening up a 1-point lead, 6 points away from winning this match in straight sets. Celine Safa serving now for the Titans. Low serve. Tipped. Controlled. Blocked. And a volley under the net, and that's going to go to Los Altos. And that'll tie the score again. So Los Altos refusing to go quietly. Megan Wong is your server. Megan Wong, before the pandemic hit, had been named player of the match 3 times back in the fall of 2019. Tipped. And over. And that is going to go to Los Altos. I know that some of the crowd thought that might have been a 4th touch, but not according to the ref. Gunn captain didn't like that one at all. So now Los Altos, 20-19. Over, and a good kill attempt there. And that one did pay off, and Los Altos now has a 2-point lead as they close in on winning this third set and staying alive against this Gunn Titan squad. Blocked and successfully, and on 3rd straight point as Los Altos goes on a bit of a run. As Gunn wants a timeout. That may be the first time they've called a timeout this match. So we'll take 1-2. We'll be back for the conclusion of this third set. Don't go away. At the Dude Angus Gym, this crowd has been coming alive in this set because we've got a good close game, at least at this point. Blocked. Gunn handles it. Blocked again. Gunn gets it over. It's tipped. It's tipped again. And over. Set. And Gunn does come away with the point. Great effort on both sides of the ball there. But Gunn now facing down a 2-point lead in this third set. If they can overcome the lead and get to 25, that will be all she wrote. Served. Build. And that one is going to fall on Los Altos. Continuing to never say die. Caitlin Lee serving. Dug out. Oh, and a bad break there for the Eagles just when they thought they might be closing in on a set point. The front line sort of flipped it over, and Los Altos again caught napping. So, still facing down a 2-point deficit. Here come the Titans. And this time, Los Altos says, no, we're getting this set and you can't get in our way. And it's set point for the Eagles as Shannon McCabe, number 1, serving for the set. And Gunn wants a timeout. We'll see what happens when we come back for that serve. Don't go away. It is set point here in the third. Los Altos down 2-0, and Shannon McCabe serving for the set for the Eagles. And Gunn gets the point with a great kill, well placed there by the front line of the Titans. Still set point, but now Gunn having control. And that's off the ceiling, and Los Altos will get a break and they'll take the set. As Los Altos, true to form, outscores their opponents in set number 3. We'll be back for the fourth set. It's still 2-1 Gunn. Don't go away. We'll be right back. We're back here at Dude Angus Gym at Los Altos High School, where Los Altos, after being virtually run off the court in the second set, comes back to take the third and earning the right to fight another day as we're heading into the fourth set. Those first 2 sets for the Eagles can best be described as flat-footed. The team was not expecting the amount of agility and the type of just flat-out trickery that Gunn pulled out in the second set. But in the third, there were a number of very decisive kills that were executed by the Lady Eagles. And so here we are at 2-1, as this is looking like a much more even match. I mentioned earlier that there were a number of ladies on both of these teams. It was their first year on the varsity. That is not to say that they are immature in terms of years. Gunn has 6 seniors, whether or not they have been on the team for a long time, but they are seniors. Los Altos, has 5. So there's a certain amount of chronological maturity, even if it's not reflected in the number of years on varsity. Good rally going on here. Los Altos, and it's dug over. That one's going to head into the stands, and that's going to be a point for the Eagles. And that's Megan Wong serving there. 1-0 Eagles. And 2-0 Eagles as the attempt at a kill there goes straight into the net. If history is any guide, these teams come very close in their scoring averages in the 4th set. Too close to call, really. And that one in the rafters, and that one didn't help the Eagles, but they were able to get it back over. And now Gunn trying to tip, and it's blocked by Simon there. Blocked again, but this time the block by Caitlin Lee lands in the Los Altos court, and Gunn will take over serving. Michaela Leong. And that will go. Just dinked the corner on the baseline, and the Eagles regain the serve and open up to a 3-1 lead. And that one dug, and perhaps the dig was not well positioned because that went off at the hands of Celine Safa and directly into the Gunn bench. So it's 4-1 Los Altos. And block attempt that, again, probably not well positioned, and that's a point to Gunn. Hannah Zhang coming in to serve now. And a slammer by Emma Simon, the middle blocker. But when you're 6'2", that's the advantage you have. And so Los Altos now with a 5-2 lead here in the 4th. That one hit so hard it heads into the foyer of the gymnasium. Now given back to the team, and it's 6-2 Los Altos. Los Altos hits it back over. Gunn handles. Blocked, and not able to execute on the block, or at least make anything built on it, as Gunn now gets it back, and it's 3-6. Your server is Kaylin Hayata. And that one off of Kaylin and into the stands, and Los Altos continuing their comeback. Dug out. Kill attempt, and that's dug out by McCabe. And Cup it. And that one dinked over, and is that going to go? That will. I think that may be a point to Los Altos. No, it will be a point to Gunn. I think there may have been a net violation there. And that one handled very well by Los Altos. And the scoreboard says 8-4. 4-point lead for the Eagles. And now Carolyn Dormady. And off of the hands of Shannon McCabe. Kira Jouet. And is that going to fall? No! Referee says that that was out. And Gunn catches another break. And Gunn narrowing the lead to 3 points. Make that 2 points. Dug out. That one almost out of bounds. Handled by Los Altos. Back set. And over. Classic kill, and it's off of 2 Los Altos defenders and out of bounds, and that will bring it to 8-7. As Gunn creeping back into control. Wanting to finish this game off and get back to Palo Alto. Good save there. A little bit of a miscommunication, but Gunn handles it. And an attempt there, not enough. Sophia Hahn trying to make it, get everything she can out of her 5'8" and not quite enough to get the ball over. And Isabel Banks serving now for the Eagles with a 9-7 lead. It's over, and that one landing right in the middle of the Los Altos defense, and no one was able to do anything about it. Unforced error there. Oh, and what a great slam home that was. As Los Altos will not let the Titans tie this one up. Megan Wong now serving. It's 10-8. And that one off of the middle blockers. And again, the Titans draw to within 1. And substitutions. Good dig there. Close. Good defense again by the Eagles. And that one slammed home, and that one's going to be out. And Gunn has climbed back again to tie the score. And that one too hard. Out of bounds, and Los Altos climbs back into another 1-point lead. And Caitlin Lee serving. Blocked. Gunn resurrecting it, now dinks it over the net. Los Altos controls, tipped. Gunn, tipped, controlled again by Los Altos. Back over, and Los Altos does catch a break on that. There's a touch, and they open up a 2-point lead now. Caitlin Lee continuing to serve. Oh, a block attempt that was interfered with by one of those steel girders in the roof of the Dude Angus gym, playing to the advantage of the Lady Eagles, and now it's a 3-point lead. And that one was an old trick that Gunn had tried earlier in this match. That overage on the second hit, and this time it went out of bounds. So now it's a 4-point lead for the Lady Eagles, and we will step aside, and we'll see what both teams are going to do when we come back. Don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what being 6'2" will get you, because that is Emma Simon driving it home and helping build this 4-point lead that the Eagles have here in the 4th set at the Dude Angus gym, their home court. So with the lead and the serve, here is number 7, Caitlin Lee. Blocked, and a point. No, that will be a point to Gunn. I think there might have been a touch there, as a run by the Lady Eagles snuffed out there, and Gunn trying to climb back into the driver's seat here. But in this game, or in this set, Los Altos has been very elusive. Very different team from the one we saw play in the first and especially the second set. And that one's a kill attempt into the net. And that one will go back to Gunn. 2-point lead now. Ooh, hanging set there. Handled. Dug out again. Great job there by the defense. And that one is spiked home. And Los Altos building the lead back up. And now Shannon McCabe. That one's tipped and out of bounds, and Gunn will take that one. And the lead is again now 2. Kaylin Hayata. Los Altos controls, and they do get it over. Straight set, and that one over the outstretched hands, or off the outstretched hands, I should say, of Carolyn Dormady, as it's a 1-point lead again. Can Gunn tie this up, and can they get a lead? And that one, an ace right off the top of the net. And Gunn has climbed back into it and tied the score at 15 in what is still the decisive set. If Gunn were to win it, that would be all she wrote for this contest. And Los Altos says, not so fast, as just like that, they come back with a kill. Returning to a 1-point lead and giving the serve to Caitlin Cuppett. to continue the run. Dug out. And that one is going to go to Los Altos. That was just out of bounds, apparently. Caitlin Cuppett continuing to serve. Dug out. Gentle set there. Los Altos has got to punch it over, and they do. Straight up, over the middle blockers, and a great attempt there by Cuppett to play it. No good, and so Los Altos now still with a 1-point lead, but with Haley Wan now serving. And that one may have been a double hit there by Los Altos, and Los Altos can't believe it. Now there's a conference with the referees. There may have been a mistake. So Los Altos holding on to the 1-point lead. Tipped over, handled, back over now, and off the hand of Kaylin Ayada. And Los Altos getting the serve back. As much like the third set, this one is being fought out so far with Los Altos having a small edge. And that one off the head of, or off the hand, I should say, Michaela Long. And a 3-point lead for the Lady Eagles is Carolyn Dormady. Tipped, long run. Will they be able to get it back in? It looks like they will, and they do. Good dig out there. Over, and it goes. Controlled now by Gunn. And that one's going to go off and out of bounds. And Gunn snuffs out the run. Kira Jouet. And a timeout now called by Los Altos, as Los Altos may be realizing that they've got to do a little bit more if they want to hang on to that lead. Well, we'll step aside while they figure that out. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a minute. We're back at the Dude Angus Gym at Los Altos, and we've got a barn burner here. Whereas Gunn took the first 2 sets, Los Altos came back in the third and now is holding on to a lead in the fourth. Gunn knocking on the door, and they've just reduced the Los Altos lead to 1 point as we are getting into the latter stages of this fourth set. And that's Kira Jouet serving. Back set and dinked over, and Los Altos got away with that one. Over the middle blocker and into pay dirt as Los Altos reestablishes the 2-point lead. Los Altos desperate to take this to a 5th and final set as Isabel Banks serves. Dug out, dangerous there. Good block, but it's still handled by Gunn. Los Altos was able to recoup. Now tried to volley it over. Kill attempt, and that one was headed out. Los Altos wisely played that one. 21-18. And that one too long. And so it's back to a 2-point lead. Set, short set, and a perfect kill there, bringing the score to 22-19. As these teams have been trading points all through this set. Now there's a little bit of a dispute now over on the court. No, it's just a substitution. And Megan Wong is your server. Dug out by Los Altos. Great defense there. And that one, and they're going to say that was a closed fist. And Gunn will get the ball back, and it's again just a 2-point lead. Michaela Leong serving for the Titans. And that one went into the net, and so Los Altos catches another break as they slowly climb towards a 4th set victory. Tipped, and Los Altos not able to recover from the tip. And again, Gunn trying to cut the game short, or cut the match short, that is. Hannah Zhang. Dinked over, but dinked back again. And that time, no dinking allowed. Set point to Los Altos. As we are facing down a very exciting conclusion if Los Altos is able to carry this 4th set. And now it's going to have to go over, and it does. Defended well there. Defended well by Los Altos. Over. Controlled. Dug out again. Great job by these defenses. Oh, and Gunn able to catch a break on that one. Miscommunication there on the second hit. And Los Altos wants a timeout. The question is, can Los Altos hold on to this 2-point lead? We'll be right back to find out. You can't ignore the great teamwork that Los Altos does. And in that particular incident you've just seen, that's Carolyn Dormady, who had some frustrations in the first 2 sets, but has really come alive in this set and the last one. So it is still set point. Gunn has the serve. And Los Altos, miscommunication there, and Gunn pulls to within 1. Dinked over. And Los Altos trying to sneak one in. Gunn didn't fall for it. Over the middle blockers, now controlled by Los Altos. Back set, and it falls, and Los Altos takes the 4th set. As we're headed to set number 5, this contest has gone the distance. So we'll be back in just a minute to see how the final set plays out. Don't you dare go away. If you had told me an hour ago that we would be going to a fifth set, I would not have believed you. But it was moves like this by Emma Simon and others that showed just how dominant Los Altos was in the third and the fourth sets. Now, the score may not dictate that, but the momentum right now is definitely on the side of the Lady Eagles. Now, in the fifth set, as you may or may not know, you play to 15 to win the match. Neither team can afford to let up here. If their coaches are smart, and that's Zake McGibbon for Gunn and Peter Kim for Los Altos, they'll know that the strategies that they've used have both won or have both worked. So will they continue to do them? They will if they want to win this fifth set. So, Los Altos, maybe with a tad more enthusiasm right now. And here comes Gunn's captain. And Gunn will start off serving in this fifth and final set. Dug out by Los Altos. Long volley, and that one's going to end up over. Short set. Tipped. Dug out. Set and controlled. Blocked. And recovered there. Controlled well by Gunn. Blocked again, but again, Gunn recovers. Tipped. Blocked a third time. Now what are they going to do? They're going to tip it again. Still controlled. McCabe now. Now set, blocked, and again recovered by Gunn. Neither side's giving an inch here, and oh, what an attempt there to keep that rally going. Great attempt there by Caitlin Cuppett. And it's 1-0 Gunn. Amazing defensive recoveries on both sides there. And that one on a kill attempt there by Kaylin Hayata didn't come out, and we've got ourselves a 1-1 match. Caitlin Lee, the server. Tipped. Handled by Los Altos. Back set, and that one off the hands of the front, the middle blockers there, and Los Altos opens up a 2-1 lead. Every point is even more crucial in the fifth set than it would be in the first four. And that one goes for Gunn. As again, neither side giving an inch. This is the kind of game you want to watch high school volleyball for. Served and off the net and handled by Los Altos. The ball is still alive. Tipped. Like down, and that one is headed into the stands off the wall, and that's a point for Los Altos. And it's 3-2. Shannon McCabe now serving for the Eagles. Gunn controls it. And right past the middle blockers and off their hands, and it's 3-3. And Kaylin Ayala. That one's into the net, and so Los Altos coming up with a lead once again, but of course, the rules dictate that you have to win by 2 in the final set, so we play until we've got a margin of 2 for the winning team. If it goes past 15, that is. Hill and Gunn deflected, but they were able to hold on to it. Controlled now by Los Altos. Again dug out by Gunn. Now it's blocked by Los Altos, and Gunn digs it up again. Volleyed, set, tipped, and it's volleyed out of bounds, and Los Altos taking a 2-point lead now. A third of the way to victory. Caitlin Cuppett now. And wins in, and it's dinked by Los Altos, and I think that might have been Clara Graf that was in on that one, the 6-foot middle blocker. And Gunn wants a timeout, as maybe they sense this is getting away from them. Well, don't you dare go away. We'll be back for the conclusion of this very exciting match. Caitlin Cuppett serving for Los Altos, who has a 6-3 lead in this final set. And that one's handled by Los Altos after the ricochet. Tipped over, and oh my goodness, Sabrina Fong wants that one back because she touched that and it headed exactly the wrong way. And now it's a 4-point lead for Los Altos as they're going on what has to be a 3 or a 4-point run. Now Gunn controls, and it's dug out again. Dug out a second time. Now for the kill, and it's blocked. Knocked up again. And it is in, and Los Altos has a 5-point lead in this final set. As Gunn may be sensing that this evening's slipping away from them after a great performance throughout. And it blocked, and it's ricocheted, and Los Altos gets the point, and it's 9-3. And Caitlin Cuppett continuing to serve. And right into the face of Sabrina Fong. And another point for Los Altos, bringing it to 10-3. And Los Altos blocks it again. It's 11-3. And Gunn wants another timeout. And I can't say as I blame them. We'll step aside. We'll come back for the conclusion of this game. Don't go away. We're back at the Dude Angus Gym, where Los Altos has an 11-3 lead in the 5th and final set. Caitlin Cupp has been serving throughout this run. And Los Altos did give up a point on that one. That was well played there by the Gunn front line. And so it's a 4-11 deficit. And that's as big a deficit as Gunn has faced all night. With Haley Yuan serving now for the Titans. Cross-court kill attempt there. Dug out there. Tipped, handled, got to get it over, and they do. Well done there, and that one hits the net, and that one again hit the wrong way, and that's Hannah Zhang with the unforced error. As Los Altos now 3 points away from what may be the most remarkable comeback we've seen from this Eagles squad in quite a while. That's Carolyn Dormady who's serving now. Tipped, and that one will go off of a Los Altos defender and back to Gunn as it's now 12-5. Still a heavy deficit, and one that a lead that Los Altos has worked hard for, but it's the biggest lead they've had all night. Oh, and that was unfortunate. Caitlin Lee trying to dig that there, and no way to handle it on the other side of the court. So now it's a 6-point lead for the Eagles. Handled by Los Altos, set. And dug out by Gunn. Very aggressive set there. Now Los Altos controls. And it's tipped, and Caitlin didn't get the English on it that she wanted, and it's now a 5-point lead for the Eagles. Kira Zhui serving now. Controlled, back set, blocked. Gunn handles it, and they get it back over. Good job of that teamwork. Now an attempt for the kill. It's dug out again and blocked. And Gunn shaves another point off the lead as it's 12-8, and now Los Altos wants a timeout as they've seen their lead cut in half. So we're going to keep it here as both these teams giving each other all that they can handle in this 5th set. In the first 2 sets, it was all Gunn. You can see that, particularly in the 2nd set. In the 3rd and 4th set, it was numerically close, but Los Altos dominated in terms of serving, in terms of defense especially, and they were able to eke out victories in the 3rd and 4th set. In this 5th set, they're still leading, but it's only by 4 points, and Gunn is closing in. How's this one gonna end? Deflected. And another deflection, and Gunn was able to keep it alive. So was Los Altos. Set, now back set. Set again. And Gunn is able to get it down, and it's a 3-point margin. And if Gunn can keep this run going, which is now a 6-point run, they will blow this game wide open. Short. Now dug out. Controlled by Gunn. Over the head of the blockers. Long way to go, and Los Altos is able to get it in. Now set, controlled by Gunn, and that one is off the net, and the referee doesn't know what to say here. Los Altos thinks they have it. Now the referee speaking to one of the linesmen. As there continues to be some discussion of this one. Los Altos believes they have it. And Gunn does get the point. that is one that may break the back of the Los Altos Eagles after such a long comeback. It's 12-10. Dug out. And Gunn gets it again, and it's now a 1-point ball game. As an 8-point run by the Gunn Titans has made this a horse race. Can they tie it up? We'll find out. And Los Altos manages to extend the lead and regain control of the serve with 2 points to go. Just in time. As now Isabel Banks. Served in. Tipped. Now knocked back again, now by Los Altos, controlled. Set way up, good dig there. And it's out, and Los Altos has earned itself a match point. Or have they? No, it did go to Gunn. And substitutions, and now it continues to be a 1-point game. 13-12, Los Altos. And that one's into the net, and Los Altos does get that match point that they'd wanted. And it's Megan Wong for the win. Serves in, set, tipped, and desperate attempt by Los Altos to keep it, but no. But it's still match point. So now the question is, can Gunn draw even? As Michaela Leong serving. And Los Altos wants a timeout. It's match point here at Dude Angus Gymnasium. Los Altos holding on to a 1-point lead in the 5th and final set. Over. And Los Altos gets it. Set and match to the Lady Eagles after being left for dead. Los Altos comes back to take the last 3 sets, and they pull it off with a win over Gunn here on a Thursday night. Josh Young produced and directed our show tonight. Jacob Peterson was our production assistant. Thank you, Jacob. Breen Wen was on the camera. Robin on the other camera, Robin Frank. Special thanks to Los Altos High School and Wynn Satterwhite, the principal. The athletic director is Michelle Noeth. I'm Mike Messner reminding you, run for the roses, but don't forget to stop and smell them. We'll see you next time, everybody. Good night.